So now we ask, where can we find a living model for this new shaman discipline? Yes, we see lovers all around us, and we can look in the mirror if we are fortunate enough to be one of those. But let's get a little more specific about just who this human model is, who's the best human model. Again, we listen to Jesus, where he says, whoever does not welcome the kingdom of God like a little child shall not in any way enter it. So for our new wineskin in this shaman hour paradigm, we want all these childlike qualities, playful, curious, overflowing with wonder. But to channel our new amor wine, we also need to experience the first wild romantic stirrings that a small child, an infant, has not experienced, that first amor seizure. So our prototype for our new wineskin is not a little child, but it's an eternal tween that we carry inside ourselves. No matter what our age is, she is inside of us, in our heart. Parvati, who we've mentioned many times, that adolescent girl who was crazy enough to surrender herself to that amor seizure, that heart-gushing command in her that declared outrageously she can pull the great god Shiva to her by the force, by the supernatural power of her young girl's tender heart. The wizard Merlin and this young wild fairy in the forest, Nanayan. She was his inner tween, his muse, his anima, his own projection of this wild, vibrant life force that triggered this amor seizure within him, and she with the same amor seizure for him. Hermann Hesse we mentioned in Steppenwolf, the cabaret for madmen only. Have any experience you want. You're going to go in the door that says, first love. And even as adults, we are in that state of that early adolescent or pre-adolescent, that first wild, crazy crush where your heart is just blasting and you're just spinning out of control in this dizzy seizure when that eternal inner tween heart of yours is awakened again, and it feels like I've never been in love before, which is how I've described my feeling for this young woman that I've been involved with these months. I feel like I'm in love for the first time. She has awakened, this young girl. She's not a tween, but she's not that many years removed from a tween. She still very much exudes that tween spirit, I call it, that wild, gushing, amorous energy that a young girl exudes and channels when she's crazy in love for the first time. That early love, when I had this discussion a couple weeks ago with a stranger I met at an art gallery. When you're in love, you want to tell the world about it. I mentioned this a few sessions ago, how we started talking, and I just started gushing to her about this wonderful blessing I've had of being madly in love, and she knew exactly what I was talking about because she was also madly in love. In her case, she was madly in love with this companion that she'd been with for over 5 years, and she asked me, how long have you been in this amorous seizure? And I said, only a few months. And she said, oh, that's the best when it's early. And we know what she's talking about. I knew exactly what she was talking about. She envied me, and she was recollecting when she was in those same throes of that early tween love with her companion.